Who would have thunk that? Chris Hall here for you Dogs on Demand on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We have our halftime report now, and Georgia leading over Mississippi State by a score of 17-12. What a turn of events there at the end of the first half. Mississippi State, of course, running back a touchdown, a punt for a touchdown. Not a second guess Coach Smart, but I really wasn't crazy about. I know what was in his mind. He was trying to get down the field and at least get a field goal or something like that. But then, the offense didn't click as the offense needed to click. And you gave a lot of time to Mississippi State to do something there at the end of the half, and they didn't need much time. You get a run back of the punt for a touchdown. And Thorson, our punter, he had a great game against Tennessee last week, but he has been it may be the cold and rainy weather in Starkville, Mississippi that is bothering him. He is from Australia. Good day, mate. I don't know. Do they have that kind of weather in Australia? I don't know. Miss Jean says it is a poor performance so far. Yeah, I would kind of go along with that. If you want to, give us your 2 cents worth in, you can come in here and comment as you take advantage of halftime. John says, I'm scared. Well, listen, I've said it all week. You go on the road in the SEC, I don't care who you're playing. You can be playing Vanderbilt, which, by the way, won today over Kentucky in Lexington. You go on the road in the SEC, it's going to be tough. And it's always tough, especially if you're the number one team in the country, because everybody then is going to go after you, and you're going to have a target on your back, and the crowd's going to be in it and all of that. But Georgia has the lead, 17-12. And Georgia is the better team. Hopefully it'll come out here in the second half. Let's get some of your comments. They let Mike Bobo call that last series. Okay. Brandon, I don't know about that. It's raining on both teams. That's true. That's true. Brandon Parrish, he says that's last. Randy Payne, I agree with you, Randy. Hindsight, I know what Coach Smart was trying to do. He's trying to get down the field, maybe get a field goal or something like that, or get an explosive play to get a touchdown. But it didn't work. That didn't work. Amber says, go Dogs. Yep, go Dogs. Brandon, bad coaching. You certainly can second guess the strategy there at the end of the first half. Listen, it's tough. You go on the road in the Big Ten, and it doesn't matter who you're playing. You're probably going to win if you're a good, team like Georgia. You go on the road in the SEC, and it's just it's tough. Bobo is a Mark Rick circus clown. All right, Miss Jean, you just tell us what you think about that. Teresa wants us to run the ball. Okay, yeah, in hindsight, should have run it. But Amber, she has full confidence that Georgia has got this. Let's look at a little bit. We'll try to pull up the statistics here for the first half. Stetson Bennett is 18 of 25 for 177 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Georgia's run game, 37 yards in the first half. Not what you want to see. Kenny McIntosh, 6 carries for 23 yards. Stetson's carried the ball 4 times for 10 yards. Dejon Edwards, 2 times, run the ball 2 times for 4 yards. Only 37 yards rushing in the first half for Georgia. In receiving, Brock Bowers, 5 receptions, 41 yards. Kyrus Jackson, 3 receptions, 39 yards. Darnell Washington, 2 receptions, 35 yards. Ladd McConkey, 3 catches, 26 yards. Dejon Edwards, 2 catches, 18 yards. Marcus Roseme, Jack Saint, 2 catches for 17 yards. I got a bug on my thing. Let's see. And for Mississippi State, Will Rogers, 13 of 23, 112 yards. So that, the touchdown there at the end of the first half, that kind of hurt. That kind of hurt. Grady says O-line needs to put their heels on the ground and drive, run for 200 yards in the second half. Absolutely. Where's the running game? Now, Mississippi State gave up 33 points to Auburn. I mean, Mississippi State, ladies and gentlemen, gave up 33 points to Auburn. So Georgia should be doing, you would think Georgia should be doing better than what Georgia is doing. We'll play better in the second half, Jason says. I think so too. Brandon says we run the ball. Yeah. It's so we need to run the ball. Stetson, okay. He had an okay first half. Stetson did. Carlos says, go Dogs. Let's see. Deborah replying, those cowbells need to be. That's true. I mean, I don't know who started the cowbell thing, but I wish they had not started the cowbell thing. That thing is so aggravating. If I was in the stands for a Mississippi State game, I would have a headache of a mile long by the time the night was over. Checking out some of the other scores. Washington is beating Oregon at halftime, 13-10. So, Oregon ranked number 6 in the country in the college football playoff rankings. They're having a hard time with Washington. Kansas State is winning. North Carolina is winning over Wake Forest. Florida State is beating Syracuse. Ohio State today won big over Indiana, 56-14. Michigan beat Nebraska, 34-3. Tennessee took out Missouri, 66-24. LSU clinched the SEC Western Division title today, beating Arkansas 13-10. Alabama came from behind and snuck out a victory over Ole Miss today, 30-24. That knocks Ole Miss out of any hope of going to the SEC championship game. That loss secures that game for LSU. Alabama, with LSU's win, has no shot really at making the college football playoffs this year unless something really quirky happens. Clemson beat Louisville. Penn State beat Maryland, and Notre Dame beat Navy by 3 points, 35-32. And Vanderbilt goes on the road and beats Kentucky 24-21 up in Lexington. So there you go. Let's see, Amber, I think, okay. Stetson. What is the score? The score is 17-12. So, Georgia's got the lead. Dogs need to tackle better. That's true. So what do you think about this game? Georgia came out, went down the field, scored a touchdown. And, and then, we got another touchdown and a field goal. So it's going to be tough. Georgia is a much better team. Georgia has better personnel than Mississippi State. They just do. So hopefully in the second half, Georgia will get it together. Georgia gets the ball first in the second half. Hopefully the Bulldogs will travel down the field and score a touchdown, take some of the pressure off. Mississippi State has a pretty decent defense, but they gave up 33 points to Auburn last week. They scored 39 points on Auburn, but they gave up 33 points to Auburn. If they give up 33 points to Auburn, then Georgia, with a much better offense, should be, clicking. But, okay, you come into this game, you're the number 1 team in the country. You're playing against Mississippi State, 6-3 on the year. They play very good at home. Mississippi State is a much different team at home than they are on the road, and so it's tough in these environments. Do you think they're underperforming? Yes, sir. I do think Georgia is not clicking as they need to be clicking, but hopefully they'll get it together. Lewis Harrison, we're doing good, but not at the Tennessee game level. That is absolutely the truth. Do you think Georgia is? Oh, yeah, we saw that one, and we do so far. Need to take the crowd out from Mississippi State by scoring big, Lisa says, and I agree with that. So what do you think about this second half? Now, my prediction of the score was 34-14. And so, I won't get the 14 for Mississippi State unless they get a lot of safety or something. And we hope that doesn't happen. So what do you think here? Joe says, go Dogs. And I think Georgia's going to win this game. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be tough. The cowbells are so annoying, and they are. And we've got to research this thing. Why do they have cowbells? I can understand why Tennessee has that Rocky Top thing. That'll drive you slap up the wall. But why does Mississippi State? Well, they're an agricultural school. They're an agricultural based school. So I suppose it has something to do with that. Yeah, we lived in Mississippi for a while, and big rivalry between Ole Miss and Mississippi State. Ole Miss is the more elite school. That's the perception, the more elite school. And Mississippi State's the more good old country boy school, Oh, me. So, it is what it is. So Georgia needs to come out. Georgia gets the ball first in the second half. The defense needs to step it up. We need to score on that kickoff from the get-go here in the second half and get it going. So we'll keep an eye on all of this stuff. Let's see, in the SEC, you want to check that scoreboard in the SEC. I think we've covered pretty much everything. Florida is beating South Carolina 38-6 down in Gainesville. And we've covered all the other scores as well. Well, no, Auburn is beating Texas A&M. That game's being played in Auburn in the second quarter. Auburn beating Texas A&M 7-0. Texas A&M, man, what in the world has happened to Texas A&M? All right, guys, we're going to get out of here for the second half. Let you get your Coca-Cola and your popcorn and get ready for the second half of this game. We'll get out of here for halftime. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back with you at the end of the game to celebrate a Bulldog victory, a Georgia Bulldog victory.